This is LO5, converse, inverse, and contrapositives, part 2. So this is the part that has all about the we do and the you do, if you were finishing the notes. Okay? So the we do asks you to figure out which one is the inverse. Now looking at this, this is our original statement. So I'm going to leave it, so I don't forget. If G, then H. So if raspberries do not have mold on them, then they are rotten. Now I realize this is a false statement, but it doesn't matter because you don't care right now whether it's true or false. What you're trying to do is just figure out the inverse, okay? So normally I would go through this and I would just say, okay, so the inverse is if G, then not H, right? This is G, excuse me, and this is H. Okay, so not G would mean that I take out the not, right? Because you have to make it the opposite. So it would become raspberries do have mold on them. So looking at my choices, I noticed that number 3 and number 4 do not start like that. In fact, number 4 uses 2 ifs. You're not allowed to use 2 ifs. You want an if and a then. Number 3 does that part fine, but it has raspberries are rotten first. In fact, number 3 represents the converse, not the inverse. Okay? So this has 2 ifs. That's why it's wrong. Okay? Now, so far, 1 and 2 are good. Okay? To make this one the inverse, we would need to add in the not. So looking at this, if raspberries do not have mold on them, then they are not rotten. So this is the correct answer because it's the inverse. Number 1 is incorrect because they did not negate statement H. See, this says they are rotten, which is the same as the original, and that's not what you want. So you wanted number 2. Okay? You want to take this statement and change it to be the different kinds. Now they're out of order than we had at the top. So I think that I'm just going to go in the order that I taught it to you originally. That's how I always do the problem. So even though the converse is in the middle, I'm going to start on this one. Okay? Before you start, you always want to know which statement is which. So to help me, I'm going to use my colors. I'm going to make K pink, and K is this statement, while F is this statement, right? Because the first statement always goes with the if part, and the second statement always goes with the then part. Alright, so that means now I want to switch. So the converse would be F to K. Switch the F and the K. So if I am allergic to it, then, don't forget the if and the then, the animal is a cat. Now notice this word wasn't there before. Before it said an, but I decided to take out the an because grammatically it didn't make sense for then an animal is a cat. So I changed it to a the just to make it flow better, which is perfectly allowed because I did not change the meaning of the statements. So this is the converse. So notice that an animal is a cat is second, and I am allergic to it is first. The inverse, move this up a little bit, the inverse has the same order but negated with the nots. So it becomes not K, then not F. If an animal is not a cat, then I am not allergic to it. So you have a different statement because they say not now, right? So remember, now we have not F is green and not K is blue, which is very helpful because when you go to do the contrapositive, it's just the inverse switched. So if you want to make a note of that to help you later. Okay? So all I'm going to do is say if not F, then not K. So if I am not allergic to it, then the animal is not a cat. And notice that I use that word the again because again this K statement came second. Colors to help me really see the difference. Not F is first and not K is second. Now in case you're curious about the different truth tables with these, you do truth tables the same as you would do them for an original conditional statement. Like if you do a truth table for this statement, the original, it still has 3 columns, right? The K, the F, and then if K, then F. The difference is when you do the one for the converse, just like the statement switch, so do the columns. So this time F is first and K is second. And it goes if K, if F, then K. The inverse one, okay, still has 3 columns, but you have not K in the first column, not F in the second column, and if not K, then not F. And to end it all, the contrapositive would be not F, not K, if not F, then not K. So those are the 4 versions. So, if an animal is a cat is open, right, which is statement K, so you would put TF, right? So then over here where you also have K, you also put the TF because K is open, okay? While F, I am allergic to it, well, we don't know what it is, so that one's also going to be open. Right? Or you can just write open, 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 which means that eventually it will end up open. Okay, so even though I don't want to do all the versions, you can, but because I know both are open, the result will be open. Now when you switch to not K, it will still be open because you still don't know what the animal is. So you end up with 4 tables that look exactly the same except with different things in the tiles, which doesn't always happen, right? If K was true, when you do not K, it's false. This is LO5, part 2.